Hey Motley crew, welcome to another motcast, opening up this sacred space with a bell. I invite you to ask yourself two questions today, or same two questions. How are you feeling and what do you need? And if there is something that you need that is outside of this here podcast, go ahead and get that. Press pause on the video. And in the practice of acknowledging and validating your emotions, see what you are feeling. Feel in to your heart space. Feel into your body. I invite you to take 3 of the deepest breaths you have taken all day. Deep belly breaths. Deep, deep belly breaths. A long, deep breath in from the belly, expanding outwards, filling each and every crevice of your body and cell with air. And then a long breath outwards with a sigh. Letting go and releasing what no longer is serving you in this moment. Whatever it is you can put aside, release that with the breath. Allowing yourself to do this 2 more times. I set the intention that in this here sacred space, I serve to be a clear channel of the highest truth with clarity rooted in love for the highest good of all. That as you hear me, see me, exist in energetic space with me, you may receive healing energy as well as energy to help you fully embody your soul alignment, the true essence of you, your authentic self. In this moment now, I call in my chi, my higher self, and ask that they speak and express through me. In the process of channeling my chi, we're going to be talking today about, as human beings, being a microcosm of the macrocosm. The macro is the large scale. It's what is bigger and beyond us. And we are just a miniature version of the universe, the cosmos. This is getting into understanding how this universe and reality operates in the different levels that we exist in. So let's get to it. So, what does it mean to be a microcosm of a macrocosm? In Odinani, which is Igbo philosophy, cosmology, spiritual belief, we believe that in order to understand the reality of this world, you can always and also look external to you. That in studying the physical reality around you and studying nature and studying the stars and studying the natural ways in which this earth ebbs and flows, then we understand the internal, the inner world and the way it ebbs and flows. It is why not only did my ancestors through Odinani study the stars and the relationship between the stars and heavenly bodies and their interplay of forces within us, or on us rather. It is also why they spent so much time studying nature, science and spirituality were not separate, they were one. And this is ancient wisdom that many indigenous cultures knew, that there is no separation between the two. And so when you think of the macrocosm, when you think of the world external, let's start with the stars, astrology. People see astrology as this made-up system, right, that you look at, and it's the houses, signs, and planets, and it's just kind of out there. But to further understand it, each planet, sign, star represented in astrology is representing an energy that is existing within us. So when we understand that the movement of these planets and the constellations and correlations of the angles and signs and the different houses they fall in is just to reflect back to us what we are inwardly experiencing and going through, to provide us with the external way of viewing the world that is based on an internal representation. Because everything is energy. The external energy, the external macrocosm, is just a bigger version of our internal. For example, take, for example, the planet Saturn. I'm in the process of ending my Saturn return, and let me tell you, it's been a doozy. And Saturn represents structures, it represents lessons. It can also represent hard pills to swallow, limitations. The planet of Saturn represents where in our lives we are being asked to take on the energy of the teacher. It is the masculine energy of setting boundaries and structure so that we can achieve and succeed. Just like within us, within our soul, within our being, there is a part of ourselves that is of that masculine energy, that seeks to have boundaries and structures, to learn the lessons that the soul needs to expand and to grow and to experience what the soul came here to experience. And so we can begin to further understand our inner world by understanding how the world operates around us. It's the same with nature. We are human beings, and there's also the animal kingdom, and then there's also the plant kingdom. And the way these different systems and ecosystem operates informs our own internal energies and the way we operate within our own individual self and in our humanity. For example, trees and mushrooms are known to have an underground system of roots and linkages that link them to each other in a network. That all trees in a forest are connected through a canopy in one unit. So if something happens to one tree, all the other trees know because they are interconnected by the roots. That too is how we are energetically connected to each other. My consciousness is connected to your consciousness, is connected to the collective consciousness of energy because they are connected by these roots. Except for roots, it's more of like upward strings. Imagine the roots of a tree is upside down, and that goes into a blue cloud, like a mushroom. And so that there shows you we are a microcosm, a smaller version of a larger version of a larger version of a larger version. The larger version goes even beyond just this here earth, this here reality that we exist in, and extends to cosmic beings that exist in other planets, in other realms of, I say, dimensions. That they too are just another cosm of the greater organization, the greater world of the Creator. And so we begin to understand that because everything is energy and everything is connected and everything is, it's as if you have those Russian dolls where you have the big doll, you open the big doll, there's another doll, and you open that doll, there's another doll, and you open that doll, there's another doll, and then you get to the core center of the doll and you find spirit, you find soul, you find the essence of divinity that exists within everything. So being a microcosm, we begin to understand our human nature. Our inner divinity by also understanding what goes on around. And that both are worthwhile pursuits. You don't eschew one for the others, the outer and the inner, they both happen simultaneously to bring about a greater understanding of this reality that we exist in, of the nature of this reality. So pulling it back into our inner world, to the soul. Just as nature is comprised of, you have the trees, the shrubs, the ants, the lions, it has a lot, you know, it has a lot of species going on and all different expressions of the same thing of matter. When we look within ourselves and our souls, we see that same ideology, that same understanding that our soul, there are so many parts and facets to us. And when we put ourselves in boxes because of the society that we exist in, we ignore those parts of us that may want to come through, those different facets that want to be expressed. Because if our soul, and our soul is, it's just a piece of the all that is of the Creator of Great Spirit, and we know that Great Spirit is everything, that in everything is in us. We are everything within. We can be everything. Our personalities can look like everything. And it is what makes us the unique expression of who we are, is that our soul came here to express itself in a particular way. Just like the expression of an ant is different from the expression of a ladybug, our souls each have a unique expression of how it seeks to be in this world. But it is actually also connected to all that is and can ever will be. Just that, when you're incarnated into this earth, the soul is like, okay, I want to incarnate to this earth. I would like to be able to experience life in this particular way. For me, as example, I want to be able to experience, because I have a particular mission, coming to the earth and learning how to empower myself from a state of feeling small, defeated, weak. And so I want to have certain characteristics that help me along the journey of self-empowerment and self-love. So when I get to a place, I am in the full embodiment after the healing, after the journeying. And that expression, that a unique essence of my expression will look in this particular way. Because I had to first learn or experience feeling voiceless and powerless in order to experience empowerment and speaking my truth. And so being a microcosm of the macrocosm is all about understanding that we are just smaller, miniature versions of what is going on a larger scale. And then we can continue to understand ourselves and what's going on in reality, in this world, this universe, by understanding, outerstanding the natural world, the cosmos, the stars, that they are all interconnected. And so I want to pull some cards around this topic to see what Spirit has to say. Astrology cards. Let's go with that because we were here talking about the stars. So just clearing the deck. All right. Regarding this topic of the macrocosm, of humans being a microcosm of the macrocosm, what else is there to share with the collective today? Wow, okay. So we have the North Node sideways. What else is there to share? Fourth house upright. Sixth house upright. And we also have a square in reverse. Bottom of the deck energy is Libra. It's all about balance, being in harmony. So we have North Node upright. This is all about the karmic path and destiny. It's about the lessons we've come here to learn. So in understanding that we are just miniature versions of the larger versions, we can begin to understand that we are also here to learn lessons as a soul, to grow on a spiritual path. And it is this path that leads us on the journey to emotional fulfillment. And we're talking about fulfillment here where you feel, as you move in the world, that you have a place of home, where you feel nurtured, where you feel guided, by your soul. Sixth house. With this, I see this as two things twirling around to come to one. The balance between two is understanding that because we are a microcosm, a macrocosm, that this is all about duality. And the thing about duality is its actual oneness, experiencing the oneness of all, that everything has two parts. And because everything has two parts and is in fact made up of one, when you begin to see yourself as just a repeating expression of the wider universe, you can come to a place where internal conflict is released. Because you know that in this process of this thing called life, you are guided. You're being guided to a place of harmony, of being in balance with all there is, within and without. The process of following one's destiny, of understanding that following one's destiny is all about tapping into the home within, the soul within, healing the soul, healing externally the systems that exist so that we can all come into harmony. So it's not just harmony within, it's harmony with each other, it's harmony with earth, it's harmony with the macrocosm. Because just as we are a microcosm of ourselves, when we look out into the society, into the external world that we as humans have created, that is a macrocosm of what's going on inside. So if we see oppression and injustices that are existing currently and we're trying to fix them, to destroy these systems that continue to perpetrate trauma and pain and suffering, we have to also understand that the reason that these systems and structures continue to perpetrate externally is because internally within ourselves, there are things that need to be healed. And that what's going on out there is just a macrocosm of what's going on within our souls, within the collective consciousness. And it's more of the collective unconsciousness, right? The moon, fourth house is all about the moon. It's about the energy, the dark side of the moon, energy that you cannot see. And that is the microcosm that we are being called as humans to address. The soul, the healing and well-being of our soul, mind and body, so that they can come into harmony, right? Embodied soul alignment. And so thus there will be harmony external to us and the macrocosms that we see. And so that, and I saw 555 on the clock, so it's 4555. 4 is all about, again, fourth house, stability, security. 5 is change, transformative change that starts with our home within, with the soul within. So that's the message that the cards have today. This is all about your celestial fortune, your destiny, written in the stars, but encoded in the soul. And understanding that what's encoded here is also encoded out there in a myriad of ways, because that's how it works. We're all connected. Thank you all, again, always, for taking your time, your energy, wherever, whenever you are, for tapping and tuning in to this here channel. I don't ever take it for granted, and I'm so appreciative of you. So feel free to like and subscribe. Follow the other pages the other platforms. I have a TikTok and an Instagram. And if you are so moved by the spirit of generosity, donate. Get me something off my Amazon wish list. I like gifts. We'll stop there. And as always, I love y'all with love. Take care.